Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel StudyTube India for Commerce and Management. In this lesson, we will be studying critical path method under project management. So we will be covering objectives, advantages, limitations of critical path method, steps in CPM project planning, and finally we would be concluding the lesson with differentiating between PERT and CPM. So let us see what is critical path method. So critical path method is used to assist the project manager in scheduling its activities, that is when they should start each activity. The sequence of activities lying on longest duration is known as critical path. It would cause a delay in the whole project. To quicken the process, the activities lying on the critical path should be taken first. So critical path is nothing but a sequence of activities which lie or which take the longest time to complete. And this particular sequence is likely to cause a delay in the entire project. This particular method calculates a single deterministic early and um, late start and finish date for each activity based on specified sequential network logic and single duration estimate. The main focus of CPM is on calculating float in order to decide which activities have the least scheduling flexibility. So if I have to explain it to you in very simple terms, CPM is nothing but a network analysis technique used to calculate project duration by uh, analyzing the sequence of activities which have the least amount of scheduling flexibility. So the critical path method's objectives are as follows. First is to determine a route between two or more operations which optimizes some measures of performance. Secondly, to locate the obstacles and difficulties in production process. Third, to assess the starting and finishing times of every operation, and to determine the float associated with each non-critical activity. Now let us see what are the steps in CPM project planning. So these steps are more or less similar to the PERT project planning. So let us just quickly run through it. First, specify the individual activities. All the activities in the project are planned. The list can be used as a foundation for adding sequence and duration information in the latter steps. Then next step is to determine the sequence of activities. Various activities rely on the completion of the other activities. Therefore, a list of all direct predecessors of each activity is useful for constructing the CPM network diagram. Then third is again to draw the network diagram. In the next slide, we will be seeing how to draw a network diagram along with the example of CPM using. Then fourth step is to estimate activity completion time. The time essential for completing each activity can be estimated using past experiences. CPM does not take into account variation in the completion time. Then fifth step is to identify the critical path. So critical path, as discussed earlier, is nothing but the longest duration path throughout the network. The importance of critical path is that the activities that depend on it cannot be delayed without delaying the project. So in order to identify the critical path, following four parameters can be taken into consideration for each activity. First being the earliest start time, the earliest start time at which the activity can begin, given that its predecessant activities must be finished first. EF, that is earliest finish time, similar to the earliest start time for each activity, as well as the time required to complete the next activity. LF is the latest finish time, that is the latest time at which the activity can be finished with no delay in the project, and latest start time, that is LS, equal to the latest finish time minus the time needed to complete the activity. So yes, all these parameters are similar to the PERT project planning. So I will not get into much detail of it. I will highly recommend you all to watch the PERT and basics of networking techniques video before watching this lesson, link of which will be provided in the top right corner of the screen and also in the description box below. So watch those lessons before you come to watch this lesson. Continuing with the next step, that is updating the CPM diagram from time to time. So as the project grows, the actual task completion time will be identified and the network diagram can be updated to incorporate this information. If the project requirements change, a new critical path may emerge and structural changes may be made in the network. As we've seen in the previous lessons, that there are certain changes occurring in the working conditions or in the project planning itself. So as and when the changes occur, we need to update our CPM diagram accordingly, right? So these are certain steps in CPM project planning. Now let us further see what are the or rather how to draw a CPM diagram. So let us consider the simplest example of applying the critical path technology or the critical path method to a project with short deadlines. Imagine that our goal is to organize a parking lot on an empty area near the office. So you need to act the following to do it. First and foremost, what you need to do is you need to identify what all activities have to be performed. So activities would be selecting a location, cleaning the area from trash, um, buy paint for marking. Then it next activity would be measure the area for a certain number of cars, then park and paint all the parking elements, and lastly to install the gate, right? So these are the activities that we need to perform in order to organize a parking lot. Clear? So we have enlisted and identified what all activities that we need to perform. Then we need to sequence them in a specific order. Once we sequence them, then we can start adding the durations to it by drawing a critical path method diagram, right? So, so at this point, some stages of this project cannot begin until the others are finished, right? So these are referred to as dependent. Step number 4, 5, and 6, that is measuring the area for certain number of cars, marking and painting all the parking elements, and installation of a gate are sequential activities because they must occur in certain order, right? So in this example, these stages are the most important critical tasks for solving the problem. So you will place them on the critical path of the project. Why? Because you cannot start any stages until other stages are complete, right? So based on this plan, you can determine the duration of each stage and the entire project, right? So here we have task A requires 3 days to be completed, task B requires 2 days, task C requires 4 days. So this particular path, that is task A, task D, and task E, that requires 9 days. Therefore, this is the critical path method in our example. Clear? So I hope you've understood this particular concept of drawing the critical path method diagram, right? Moving ahead, let us see the advantages of this method. So first advantage is that it provides an analytical approach to the achievement of project objective. Then it identifies most critical element and pays more attention to these activities, right? We identify the most critical activities and we pay more attention to these activities. Why? Because unless and until these other activities are completed, we cannot move ahead with these activities and complete the project. Then next advantage is that it assists avoiding waste of time, energy and money on unimportant activities, right? So it helps in optimum utilization of resources as well. Then it provides a standard method for communicating project plans, schedules and costs. And lastly, this technique is a very useful in analysis in production planning of a large project where there are a number of activities involved, right? So these are certain advantages or merits of CPM. Moving ahead to the limitations or disadvantages, they would be extremely complex and tricky to comprehend for new recruits in the project team. So the people who do not have much experience, people who are new recruits, for them this can be extremely complex and tricky to understand. Then it demands a software to monitor the plan if the project is too bulky and lengthy. It becomes ineffective and complicated to manage if it is not well defined and stable. So CPM, in case if your projects are too bulky and lengthy, in that case you need a sophisticated software to monitor the entire plan. And then it becomes ineffective and complicated if it is not well defined and planned. Um, Next disadvantage would be it cannot handle sudden changes in the implementation of the plan on ground. So if there are any sudden changes in that case, it will not be able to handle it and your CPM diagram will fail. And then allotment of resources cannot be properly monitored. And lastly, it is time consuming method. So yes, people, this is all about the concept of CPM technique, that is critical path method technique. Now, I hope you've understood this method as well. Now let us go ahead and see the difference between CPM and PERT. So I have few distinguishing points between both of them. I would suggest you all to pause the video and go through the differences between CPM and PERT. Both of the concepts have been explained to you nicely, so I don't need to repeat all the distinguishing points. You all can go through it. Again, if you all have any doubts or difficulties between in any of the lessons, also in this particular lesson and this particular slide, please let me know in the comment section below. Or you can also ask me during live classes. I will be more than happy to help you with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next class with another concept. Until then, take care and happy learning.